Friends, just think. A girl, 13 years old, but she couldn't walk properly. She couldn't speak. She didn't know how to chew food. And the most terrifying thing? She didn't even know what the world was. In 1970, on a street in California, police found a girl, and when the officers saw her, the ground slipped from beneath their feet. She wasn't crying. She wasn't screaming. She was just silent. A silence that breaks a person from the inside. And when doctors found out her story, they said this was the darkest case in human history. Today, we will learn the story of that girl, whose name was Genie. This story begins in 1957, in an ordinary house in California. A girl was born. Mother's name was Irene. Father's name was Clark Wiley. From the outside, it looked like a normal family. But friends, what was happening inside that house, no one could even imagine. Clark Wiley was a man with a sick mind. He hated people. He hated the world. And most of all, he hated the sound of children. He had turned his house into a fortress, completely cut off from the outside world. And inside that fortress, a little girl was imprisoned. The room that was worse than hell. Close your eyes for a moment and think. A small room. Thick curtains on the windows, no light, no sound, no toys, no books, no human beings, just a small girl tied to a chair. This was Genie's world. Clark had locked his own daughter in that room when she was just 20 months old. 20 months! She was just learning to walk. It was the age to speak her first words. It was the age to understand the world. But her father locked her entire world inside a dark room. During the day, she stayed tied to the chair. At night, she was locked inside a sleeping bag, as if she wasn't a human being, but an object. This is where the story becomes even more terrifying. Clark couldn't tolerate sounds, so he made one rule. If she tried to touch anything, she would be beaten. Clark would sometimes go to that room, but not to talk, but to remind that girl that you are not a human being. He would bark at her like a dog. He would growl, and that girl would just stay silent because she knew what would happen if she made a sound. The mother herself was afraid of this man. She was also helpless. In that house, everyone was a prisoner. Food? That was torture too. Friends, you must be thinking that at least she got food. Yes, she did. But what kind? Baby food, cereal, soft bread. Why? Because Genie had never been taught to chew solid food. Even at the age of 13, she could only eat what a baby of a few months eats. She had teeth, but she didn't have the ability to chew because that ability required experience, and experience she never got. November 4, 1970. Clark's house. Something happened that changed everything. Irene, Genie's mother, gathered her courage. She took Genie and left the house. She went to a government office for disability benefits, but the officer there saw Genie, and he immediately understood that something was very wrong. He called the police. Genie was taken to the hospital, and Clark was arrested. But friends, Clark committed suicide the night before his trial. He never appeared in court. He never answered for what he did. When Genie arrived at the hospital, the doctors were left speechless. A 13-year-old girl, but her physical condition, like a child of 6 to 7 years. She couldn't stand straight because she had never walked properly. She couldn't speak because she had never heard language. She couldn't recognize things because she had never seen things. But there was one thing the doctors noticed. There was something in Genie's eyes, a curiosity, a hunger to know. She would stare at everything carefully, as if after 13 years of imprisonment, her eyes wanted to drink in the entire world. Here, the story takes a new turn. When scientists and linguists heard about Genie, they raised a big question, a question that had been debated for years. Is there a specific age for learning language? If that age passes, can a human still learn to speak? For them, Genie was a living experiment. And this is the place, friends, where my heart becomes heavy. Because what should have happened was that this girl should have been given love. She should have been healed. She should have been given a normal life. But for some people, she became a research subject, an opportunity that had never come before. In the beginning, Genie made progress. She started learning a few words. She started recognizing things. She started connecting with people. There was a researcher named Susan Curtis who spent a lot of time with Genie. Genie became attached to her. And seeing this, it seemed like maybe Genie would get better. Maybe she would get the life she deserved. But, friends, that never happened. Why? Because the funding ran out, the research stopped, and Genie started being sent from one foster home to another. Every time new people, every time a new environment, every time new trauma. That girl who had first learned to trust after 13 years was broken again and again. After the 1970s, Genie's story slowly fell silent. The media shifted its attention. Scientists left with their research. And Genie was left alone. The last reports that came said Genie was in an adult care facility. She had gone silent again, just like she was in that dark room, exactly that silent. The California government permanently classified her identity as secret. Today, no one knows where Genie is. No one knows if she is alive or not. Genie's story teaches us so much. This is not just the story of one girl. This is a mirror of our society. A father destroyed her, and then the system destroyed her again. First, she was a prisoner of her father. Then, she became an experiment for scientists. No one ever came who simply said, "Genie, you are okay. You are safe. You are not alone." And just thinking about this makes the heart heavy, that even today in this world, there are God knows how many Genies who are locked in some dark room and no one knows. Friends, if this story touched your heart, then like this video. Share this story so that people know how costly silence can be. And tell me in the comments which moment in this entire story felt most painful to you. See you in the next video. Thank you. Subscribe to the channel, because the truth that no one tells you, we tell you.